What is up? What is up? What is up? Greetings, Redheads. Thank you for joining me in another episode of your favorite show, the one, the only Reds View. Of course, I am your gracious host, Jay Red. And if you don't know by now, make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/ResView. You can see it right here. Subscribe to the channel so we get those subs up. Also, make sure you hit that like button or the dislike button. It is all good as long as we get some type of interaction because that helps out the algorithm. All right. So, man, we got a lot to discuss today. This is a couple of days before Thanksgiving. So, hopefully, everybody's having a good festive holiday week. It's also the week before my birthday. I will not do a show next week because I will be out of the country next Tuesday for my birthday. So, tap in tonight and throughout the weeks because I'll be releasing clips and stuff from this. But yeah, man, hopefully, everybody's gearing up towards Thanksgiving. I will be also headed home to the great city of Mobile, Alabama tomorrow to spend time and kick it with the fam. I cannot wait to eat my mama's cooking. As Kwame Brown said, my mama's cooking. My mama's cooking. Yeah, man. But like I said, man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Hopefully, everybody's been doing good. We tapping in. And if you don't have one of these, you need to get you one, man. These Reds View shirts, man, you need to get one. You need to get one. Holla at me. Holla at me. All right. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and get into it, man. Andre 3000. The title for tonight's show is Andre 3000 too scared to release a rap album? Do you think he's scared to release a rap album? Point blank. Now we're going to talk about some other stuff, but this is one of the main topics I wanted to get into tonight. Now, I got a lot of backlash from one of my previous videos where I was talking about Andre 3000. It was a clip from my last show where I was talking about him releasing a damn flute album. Yeah, that was me. And you probably saw it surfacing on your social media and all that stuff, right? But yeah, Andre 3000 released New Blue Sun, came out last Friday, and boy, was it a lot of capping going on. There was so much capping going on about Andre 3000's flute album. I've seen Negroes left and right talk about how this is a masterpiece, how the 432 megahertz or whatever, like the sound frequency, Andre 3000 is trying to change up the sound frequency and all this other stuff, right? I got heavily bashed on one of my videos. Of course, it comes with the territory. Now, a lot of people liked it, but a lot of people disliked it as well to hear what I had to say about Andre 3000 not releasing what fans want from him, which has always been a solo rap album. The biggest thing that I want to tell everybody is that I'm not mad at him for being creative. That man can do whatever he wants to do as an artist. He's entitled to do whatever he wants to do, right? I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of the culture, and it's been 17 years, and this is his debut album. Keep in mind, now I know he's done stuff previously with Outkast, absolutely legendary stuff, right? But he released a lot of verses during the 2005 2006 era, or like 06 07 era. You know, he hopped on the Throw Some D's remix, he hopped on the Walk It Out remix, and he's done sporadically done different verses on different people's albums. All of them have been solid. Most of them have been solid, right? He hopped on even though he wasn't rapping about nothing on the Beyonce song, but he's been doing guest features and all the other stuff, right? So I got a chance to look at the GQ interview that he did, talked about his reasoning for not releasing a rap album. He was saying that, which is a good interview, by the way. You all need to check it out if you haven't. He was just basically like, you know, he has nothing to rap about. He was like, at his age, he's 48. What is he gonna rap about? You know, his health, you know, some health stuff or whatever, colonoscopy, like all of that stuff, right? Like, so the thing is, I was looking at it like, I hear what he's saying in this interview, and I hear that he doesn't feel that that's where he is. That's not his space. He said that people thinks that he has a lot of raps, and he don't be having raps like that. He said that he just doesn't feel like he's in the place to release a rap album. Even the name of the first song on his flute album, New Blue Sun, is something like it's a long title, but it's like, I really wanted to release a rap album, but this is what came up. I don't know. It's something like that, right? So be that as it may. I heard what he said, and I'm not mad at him for feeling that way because he's entitled to feel any way he wants. I'm more so mad at the fact that this is his first album, because the speaker box Love Below, that's the first thing the Andre 3000 fans will bring up. Well, he had the Love Below, that was pretty much a solo album. Yeah, it was, but it was packaged with Big Boy's album, Speaker Box, and it was an Outkast album. It was a group album. That's exactly what it was, you know? So we still haven't had a standalone Andre 3000 album without Outkast affiliation. We haven't had that. So for this New Blue Sun to be his debut album is the issue that I have with it personally. This is his debut album. Now, the thing is, I would have been okay if it wasn't a rap album, say that he wanted to make an alternative singing album. Like Hey Ya. Hey Ya's not a rap song, and that's one of Outkast. Is it Outkast's biggest song? Besides Sorry Miss Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. Hey Ya is up there, you know, and it crossed genres, and it's you can't call it R&B, you can't call it rock, it's just alternative, but one of the biggest songs ever from them, you know. So the thing is, I wouldn't have been mad if he released something like that, because he's out there, you know, the prototype. You are the prototype. I love that song, you know. But this, for this to be his debut album, that's my gripe and my complaints about it. Like, it'd be different if he put out an album beforehand, then said, you know what, after 15 years, I'm gonna release a Flute album. It is what it is. Now you could be mad at that, but at least he gave us something, right? But this was his debut album. So those were my gripes and complaints about it. People are gonna attack me in the comments. I don't care. You attacked me the last video. It is what it is. But it raises the question: is he scared to release a rap album? Now, why do I say that? Scared. Now, I'm not calling him a coward. You know, I just think that after observation and hearing him speak, is as if it's too much pressure. Just imagine this: if Andre 3000 actually indeed dropped a rap album, rap solo album, by this time in 2023, how would it be received? And especially if, see, Outkast never fell off. A lot of groups fell off. A lot of artists have fell off, because what happens is you reach a peak and some people keep going. Rare that you reach a peak and you don't do anything else after that. That's very, very rare. That's what Outkast did. Speaker Box Love Below is the highest selling rap album of all time. Now, of course, it's due to it being a double album. And if you know how RIAA works, they count the second disc as another album and it's packaged together. So if it's 13 million, you do the math, it's probably like what, 6.5 or something like that. You know, so 6.5 million, but be that as it may, the highest selling rap album of all time. That's the name, that's the title for it, right? Outkast, Speaker Box Love Below. So if Andre 3000 releases a project and it doesn't match that, that could be, you know, a situation where people will say that he fell off or Outkast fell off. Now, see, Big Boy has been releasing solo albums, but Andre hasn't. And Big Boy isn't a platinum selling artist, and you know, I wouldn't call him the weakest link, but he's not the fan favorite in Outkast. Obviously, you know, it is what it is. But I have my spill on that. I feel like if Andre's getting all these flowers, Big Boy should be too, because Big Boy actually releases solo albums. But the thing is that, you know, that's a big notch on your belt, to like almost 20 years ago when you released an album and it was diamond, and just this year we found out it's the biggest selling rap album of all time. Maybe the pressure is too much for him. Maybe he just feels like, man, if I drop this, it's going to get heavily criticized, you know. And it's only been like a few other people, like NWA. They reached their peak and they broke up right after that. You know, Ice Cube put out No Vaseline. They put out the Niggas for Life album, and that was it. You know, now it was rumors of them reforming after Eazy-E died in like the early 2000s, but that never came to fruition, right? But there hasn't been anybody. I think UGK is the only other group besides NWA and Outkast that reached their peak, and then Pimp C unfortunately passed away after that. So Outkast never fell off. They never fell off. Idlewild was a soundtrack to the movie, so you can't really count that, right? But Andre even said that in the interview that could have been considered something that wasn't good. It was a fall off, right? A misstep. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but Idlewild wasn't received well, like the speaker box Love Below. So maybe that was a teaser to see, okay, let's put this out to see what it was, because it was a mega. See, speaker box Love Below wasn't diamond back then, but it was a mega seller back then. Hey Y'all was #1 on the charts. I Like the Way You Move was #1 on the charts. That was Outkast at their peak, but they stopped there. So the thing is, how will a Andre 3000 album be received? Even an Outkast album at this point. If they would have put it out, we know it wouldn't sell as much as it would, right? And if Andre was to put an album out, I don't even expect it to sell as much as Speaker Box Love Below. I just expect it to be some great music, but I guess, I've never sold 13 million records before. I've never went diamond, never even went platinum, gold, nothing like that, right? So I can only imagine, but I do have a critically acclaimed project, myself, and I know how it feels. It's like when somebody says, "Man, you did real good on that album. That album was dope. I call it a classic, whatever." How does that feel to be like, okay, I gotta match that? I gotta match that energy, and you go in and you try too hard. You know what I'm saying? So that could be what Andre 3000 is going through. And the thing is, what I call cap is when he said he has nothing to rap about. So my thing is, if you have nothing to rap about now, how do you have something to rap about on Killer Mike's album that's nominated for a Grammy? Killer Mike's album, it's called Michael. That's nominated for a Grammy. Andre 3000 has a verse on there. So you sprinkle your verse on a Grammy nominated album, but you don't have nothing to talk about. And then the thing is, even if you say you ain't got nothing to talk about in 2023, what about the previous years? What about the previous years? Like, why how didn't you have nothing to talk about since then? And as an artist, you only get better with time. You can ask any artist, they'll say, I'm way better now than I was back then. So all these years, you mean to tell me after like the 17 years that you could have put out a project, you had nothing to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like it just seems way off. And then especially after all the Outkast albums that came out previously, you had a bunch of stuff to talk about then. We would love to hear about your children, your relationship, just whatever you're going through. So I just don't buy that, because you know what? Also at first, you remember on the Ti song, I forgot what it was called, but he was referring to himself being a comet and being in the sky, and then he's coming down. He's a star, but he's turned into a comet falling down on fire. And he was, at first Andre was saying that I reached this pinnacle of success and I don't want it no more. Okay, that's understandable, but stick to that. Don't come back and say, well, I don't have nothing to rap about. Which one is it? Is it you don't have nothing to rap about, or you don't want the fame, the attention and all that? Because he was talking about that in an interview too. Which one is it? Because now you're talking about you have nothing to rap about. So that just brings me to a thought of maybe the pressure is just too high. Maybe the pressure is too high for this man to release a rap album. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not shitting on him for putting out that Flute album. I'm just saying, for that to be his debut album when he's a rapper, come on, man. That's too much. But I got a chance to listen to, a couple of songs, but it's not for me. I can say that. Now, I saw a lot of people capping, talking about, oh my God, like I said, this is a masterpiece, and I can listen to this while I'm reading. I can listen to this while I'm driving. I can listen to this while I'm trying to go to sleep. Whatever. His fans were so into it, like, or they're so into him that they can, like, if he was to shit on the floor, they would call that a good album. You ever seen that movie Pootie Tang, when Pootie Tang had like a blank song, a song that said nothing? Andre 3000 could actually do that, and his fans would say, man, but it go hard though. It go hard though. So his fan base, y'all are diehard Outkast fans, you're diehard Andre fans, but you can't cap talking about you like this Flute album. Because I guarantee you, the people who heard it on Friday did not listen to it again. Like, come on, man. Those songs are like 13 minutes each long. Like, that's ridiculous. But anyway, let me show you what DJ Vlad had to say from Vlad TV. This was pretty interesting. So he got bashed, of course. So he said this right here on his post. He said, For everyone saying how genius and brave and creative Andre 3000's new Flute album is, the biggest song on the album has 17,000 streams. The last song had less than 2,000 streams. He was like, in comparison, outkast still gets 20 million listeners a month. So yeah, the numbers speak for themselves. So it was people who had backlash for it, who had backlash towards Vlad. Because Vlad's talking about the numbers. And to be fair, with Spotify, I think he was doing it from the first day, but they said it's on track to get like 3 million streams, or it did get 3 million streams, right? But I don't think that those streams are gonna last, to be honest. Those streams ain't gonna last. Go 816. What's up, player? You said this is exactly what I said, Cap. Didn't he write a book a few years ago, but he don't have nothing to talk about? Yep. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. These fans, I've been seeing it all on my timeline. They're capping. They're capping. See, thing is, if y'all all listen to flute albums or those type of like classical music, and I know that you do, and you play instruments and all that, it's cool. But I know 90% of the people who is taking up for him. Now, if check this out, if you say let that man be creative, okay, cool. But the people who are listening to it acting like it was the best thing since sliced bread, all of y'all are capping. You are capping straight up. Quit bullshitting. Come on, man. Like they Negroes is acting like they had a PhD after listening to Andre 3000's album. Oh, the music frequency, and he's trying to change up the frequency and all that. The man just went in and freestyled on the flute. That's it. That's literally all that he did. He could have been on some shrooms for all we know. That's what the man did. And people were saying it didn't have no promotion and got 3 million. Yes, it did have promotion. He did an interview. GQ interview. Now, did he do heavy promotion? No, but it came out on Epic Records. It came out on Epic Records. It'd be different if this was an independent release. It came out on a major label, Epic Records. So, yes, he's trying to sell it. And yes, it was promoted. It's being promoted. It's just not in the traditional way we would see it, but it's being promoted. But these folks are just really capping. Yeah. But yeah, go. I feel you say he's scared to fail. I think almost like LeBron never entered the dog. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point. That is a real good point. But all of y'all fans who are capping about Andre 3000, y'all need to take several seats. Again, ain't nobody bashing him for being creative, but is it really that creative? Because the thing is, I was watching Beehive. I don't know who all watches Beehive ATL, but I watched that podcast sometime. And what Gangsta Wicked was saying was my 12-year-old, it sounded like the album didn't sound good. He was like, my 12-year-old could probably play the flute and sound better than that. Is he a skilled flute player? Just keep it a buck. You're only tuned in just because it's him playing the flute. When I heard it, like I didn't think that it was just like, oh my God, amazing. Now it was relaxing. It's definitely relaxing music, right? But it sounded like he went in, which he said he went in and just started freestyling it. Did y'all see where Metro Boomin and Future were at Future's birthday party, and Metro Boomin was like, yeah, they played Mask Off, and Metro Boomin was like, yeah, Andre 3000, he played the flute on this one, because it got that flute sample. At first I was like, oh snap, that may be one of the uncredited features that Andre was talking about. But then I was talking to DJ PM. He was like, nah, that's cap. That's a sample. And I said, I forgot that was a sample. And then hours later, or the day later, Metro Boomin came out and said, no, I was just joking. So, but the thing is, listen to Mask Off. That was a professional flute player playing that compared to Andre 3000's flute album, New Blue Sun. So, like that's what it is, man. Like other flute players, if you're watching this and you're a flute player, you let me know what you thought about it. Was it really good? Or do you feel like people are tuned into it just because it's Andre 3000? Because that's what it is. But if you ask me, I think that he has a lot of doubts about. You see, that's what geniuses do, man. Like geniuses like Dr. Dre, it takes him forever. He still hadn't put out Detox just because of what he did previously. That's what happens. If you put something out that does astronomical numbers and is just major and everything, you will think twice about putting out just something because it could ruin your legacy. Like I said, Outkast never fell off. They never fell off. You could look at Wu-Tang, you could look at Bone Thugs, you could look at Goody Mob, you could look at different rap groups. All of them had a fall off period, meaning that their current work wasn't as good as their previous work. You know what I'm saying? Now, you can still be relevant per se, but you had a fall off period. Outkast reached that peak and never came back after that. So y'all let me know in the comments what you think about that, because we got a lot more to cover. Let me move on. So Joe Budden made Drake release Scary Hours 3. Joe Budden made Drake release Scary Hours 3. Now, what are you talking about, J. Ray? What you mean made him? Did he put a gun to his head? Did he beat him up? Did he force him to do it? No. None of that. This is what happened. Y'all remember Drake dropped For All the Dogs. Wasn't it? Let me see. It's November. So it was last month, right? It got heavily panned by not only Joe Budden, but and Joe Budden didn't even really bash it too hard. He said he liked it, but he expected more from Drake. But everybody else was calling it trash. But Joe Budden, his comments were highlighted. His criticism was highlighted. And Drake went at him. Drake went at him and was talking about how you're a failed rapper. They don't want to retire you. They don't want to hang up your jersey. He did all that emotional, impulsive response just to release Scary Hours 3, which is nothing but rap music. Now it's an EP, and I think it's like, what, 5-6 songs or something like that. But he did all that complaining, going and barking at Joe Budden just for him to drop an all rap EP. And that's what we as Drake fans and fans of the culture wanted Drake to drop anyway. You know what I'm saying? But Drake heavily relied on the current sound and the new crowd, the newer, the younger crowd. He was hopping on the young wave. It was so sad because the only hit song from his album, the only one, it ain't First Person Shooter. J. Cole is on there, but it's a dope track, but I ain't gonna call it a hit record. But the only one that gets spins is the Sexy Red record, the Rich Baby Daddy record. And that don't even feel like a Drake record. That feels like a Sexy Red record that Drake got on and SZA got on. People don't even sing Drake's part. I don't even know how Drake's part goes anymore, to be honest. I just know, shake that ass for Drake. Shake that ass for me. Bend that ass over. Let that coochie breathe. That's what you hear. That's a Sexy Red song. So it was so bad, Drake had to rely on that. But anyway, he was, Joe Budden was, here you go. Shout out to Lake for Life. You said this is what you've been waiting on. Yeah. Shout out to TRM Williams. Shout out to the to that podcast, man. Oh my God, I just had a brain freeze. The TC, what's the podcast? What's the podcast, Williams? I forgot, man. I forgot which one. I got a t-shirt and everything. I just had a brain freeze. But anyway, let me get back on point, because I know he'll correct me. The Core Room podcast. That's what it is. The Core Room. Shout out to the Core Room podcast. You said, nah, bro, First Person Shooter is definitely hit. Do they play that on the radio? Do DJs play that in the club? Like, that's what I'm talking about as a hit. But anyway, no, Joe Budden's criticism made Drake release Scary Hours 3, because Scary Hours 3 is filled with rap songs. And I saw some people in this cap, they were talking about how do you know that Drake didn't already have those songs and he was already going to put that out? Nigga, please. Drake had the Core Room. Yep, the Core Room. Everybody make sure that you go subscribe to the Core Room podcast. I had it mixed up in my head. But yeah. So Scary Hours 3 is full of rap songs. And people were saying, how do you know he didn't have those already in the stash? Man, I think that Drake said that he went in and recorded all that. I think he said that he went in and recorded all that. Plus, he's taking shots. It's an aggressive little EP. It's a little feisty EP. He's going at Joe Budden. He's going at Pusha T again. He's going at Kanye. That Joe Budden thing and the heavily bashing of his album set him off so much. It set him off so much to where he went in and recorded that. And he got J. Cole to feature back on there. To help him out. And by the way, let me ask this question real quick. Do y'all think he's using J. Cole? I'll get to that in a second. But anyway, as far as what I thought about Scary Hours 3, it's decent. But to me, in my opinion, it's a little too late. You only released that because of the heavily how your project was heavily criticized, right? If people wouldn't have said nothing about that album, and it was all good, it wasn't getting bad reviews, a lot of negative publicity, nobody saying that you fell off or whatever, would you have really released Scary Hours 3? That was a desperation attempt, in my opinion. that was a desperation attempt because y'all remember when Eminem put out Revival? Wasn't that what it was called? Revival? And it got heavily bashed like a motherfucker. Like they were like, I'm talking about heavily bashed. He had that song with Beyonce, and it was not a good album. It was really bad. I'm an Eminem fan. That was a bad album. It got heavily bashed by Joe Budden. And what happened? The next year, a few months later, actually going into that new year, Eminem drops Kamikaze and lashes out at everybody who has something to say. He went off on Joe Budden, and Joe Budden was actually signed to him on Slaughterhouse. He went off on Lord Jamar. He went off on everybody that had something to say about it. That's what Drake did with this one, Scary Hours. But with Scary Hours 3, it was so much. You can't tell me this wasn't about the Joe Budden criticism because he packaged that with For All the Dogs. He packaged that with For All the Dogs. It wasn't a standalone EP. He put that with the album. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? And the fact that he got J. Cole back on it shows that he's trying to get back to his real rap side. But to me, like I said, the project, it was cool. Scary Hours 3, he's rapping, but to me, it's a little too late. It wasn't anything that really just stood out. It just sounded like he was uninspired still, but it was rapping for the most part. You said still haven't heard of Yes and Yes. He's using J. Cole. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So my homeboy Lavelle brought that up, and I was like, what you mean using J. Cole? He was like, when have they ever heavily collaborated before? He feels that Lavelle was saying he feels that probably Drake doesn't look at J. Cole as competition anymore because Drake has excelled, right? Now, J. Cole has a great career too. But at first, you remember everybody was comparing Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick. Now, they did songs with each other here and there, but it wasn't heavy. It wasn't heavy like that. Now, the fact that it's like, okay, let me go on tour with J. Cole. Let me get him on my album. When has J. Cole ever been on a Drake album? When has that happened? Now, Drake has been on a J. Cole album, and this is just some thoughts. This is just some thoughts, a theory. I don't know. I'm not saying that he is or isn't, but it does seem odd that he is heavily featuring J. Cole. And why is J. Cole heavily featured on this project? You know what I'm saying? And you're going on tour with them all of a sudden, way later in y'all careers, So you said no, he's not using J. Cole, but Cole is definitely what he needs right now to regain his hunger. But see, that's what people could be saying that. Like that's what Lavelle, I think, talking about. He could be using him to regain his hunger, have more competition, or he's using him because he wants that real rap atmosphere, whatever the case may be. But regardless, I'm not mad at it because did y'all see the first person shoot a video? Fire. That's one of the best music videos I've seen in a minute. It was so good. It felt like I was watching 106 in Park. It felt like I was watching Rap City The Basement. It felt like I was watching Direct Effect on MTV. That's the feeling that it gave me. It didn't feel like I was watching it from the internet because the internet done messed everything up. But it was a good video. And if you have not seen the first person video, please do yourselves a favor and go see it. But yeah, Joe Budden, his criticism made Drake, it brought out that impulsive, emotional behavior to Drake going off on him. And then he ended up releasing Scary Hours 3. That wasn't by coincidence. So shout out to Joe Budden for bringing out the rapper and Drake. Drake had even said he was retiring. Remember that? Not retiring. He said, I'm not going to be releasing music for a while because I got stomach issues. You don't sound like you got stomach issues anymore. And you about to go on tour. Now this could also, to play devil's advocate, he could have put this out to promote the tour. He's going on tour with J. Cole, and it's a few dates, so that could be it. But if you ask me, I think that since the fact that he's going at people, he's aggressive and mad and upset, and he packaged it with his album. He packaged it with the album instead of it being a standalone EP. But that's what I think. Y'all let me know what you think. Yeah, he said opportunist for sure. Yeah, man, check out that video, man. It's a real, real good video. Can't lie. I cannot lie. But let's move on. So did y'all see Boosie versus Rod Wave? Did you see this whole thing with Boosie threatening Rod Wave to sue him? That's been all on my timeline. It's been real, real funny to see them go back and forth. So basically what happened, Rod Wave put out a project and he sampled Boosie's work, and Boosie did not like that. He went off about it, and let me show you some of what happened. So Boosie threatens to sue artists for sampling his music. And he's saying artists because this made him go at more than just Rod Wave. But he said, just got off the phone with my attorney. Like, look at Boosie. He look mad right there. But Boosie said, how's it foul? It's business, and you know that you ain't go do that to no other major label without compensating them with they splits. Why do it to a nigga that you looked up to? You expect me to let you take my kids publishing? Get the out of here. Stop playing victim, my nigga. Is you go sample No Limit, Bad Boy, Cash Money. So basically, he's like, you gonna sample all these folks for free? No, you ain't gonna do that. Boosie went at Kodak Black. He was like, damn, Kodak Black, even though we fell out, we could have did fair business. And this is, I'm gonna play what Boosie had to say, and this is fair use, by the way.
Rod Wave did it the best, no cap. A lot of artists sampling my I can't even get a feature. People just don't think I'm, business minded. Like, saying the exact same thing I said, bro. Like, that they wouldn't do that to a white artist. They wouldn't do that to another artist. Just Boost. So I'm coming back for all that, bro. Y'all already know. Y'all already know who taking my.
All right, so Boosie was upset, man. He was like, y'all can't be taking my stuff, So Rod Wave actually said on Twitter, and I'm gonna pull up my the Say Cheese TV. Shout out to Say Cheese TV. This is fair use, by the way. I'm about to play Rob play his response. Hold on a second. Rod Wave's response. Hold on. All right, so
any nigga, anything I ever said in my song, I repeated in my song on my mama, nigga, they got paid, nigga.
There you
as fat people, fucking Paramore, nigga. Drake gave me the okay when I did a little shit from this song, nigga. Anybody, anything I ever did, I got the okay. And then the nigga talking about, nigga, they gonna sue me. Nigga don't even own the shit. Nigga don't even own the rights to the song.
Ooh, man. So he said that Boosie don't even own the rights to the song. That's what Rod Wave said. He's like, you tripping. And at first, Rod Wave was saying, man, you ain't even got to pull out lawyers. You ain't got to do all that. I'll pay you. I'll pull up on you and I'll pay you. So, and then, so Rod Wave, I looked on my Facebook and I saw a thing where Rod Wave, dog, I lost it. Let me go back to it. He was, and the thing is, man, you got to be careful with Rod Wave. He's a very emotional being. The man talks about suicide a lot, and I'm just keeping it real. Like, he has a lot of songs talking about depression and stuff. So you got to be real careful with him. But I would show this on the screen, but these are some of his tweets. I think he took some of them down. He said, fuck y'all. I did what I came to do. I ain't dropping shit else. You bitches don't even fuck with me. Speaking on me, mind your business. I ain't never stole shit. 5 platinum albums, find you a hobby. Just because you don't know about the original song, me and I stole it, you done, blah, 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 blah. Because people been going in on Rod Wave, because Rod Wave has sampled a lot of work. Jay-Z, different people. They're literally making threads about all the people that Rod Wave allegedly stole from. So he's saying, man, what you talking about? I stole? Like, I sampled it. He said he contacted whoever he needed to contact. They said something about Jay-Z's song Cry. I would play some of the songs on here, but I don't want to get the copyrights right. But Rod Wave was like, man, I contacted whoever I need to contact. It's not stealing. That's not stealing if you sample it. And if you reach the appropriate people, whatever publishing company it is, or whatever the case may be, then it is what it is. But if the artists don't own the song, then they can't get mad at the person who sampled their work, because it's not stealing. Now, if it's stealing, like I said, then he should face the repercussions from that. But Boosie, he's entitled to feel the way he want to feel, but you got to be careful with Rod Wave. He's really emotional. He makes that very depressing R&B music with the trap beat. So be careful. So he said he gonna retire, and this, think about it, it's an emotional response. He talking about, I'm gonna retire, y'all ain't gonna hear no more music for me. Calm down, Rod Wave. Calm down. You're embarrassed that Boosie put you out like that. Just reach out to him and do everything appropriately. Now, if you ain't doing it right, You know, you need to get it right. Now, Boosie even went at YG. I don't know if y'all saw it on his Instagram page. I follow him on Instagram. Boosie went on at YG saying that YG stole from him. And I heard the song and I was like, I think he's reaching. I really, really, really want to play it. Go to Boosie's Instagram. Just type in Boosie Instagram and then you'll see it. Like the song "Who Do You Love." Boosie had a song. I'm not sure what year that came out, but it was talking about who do you love, and he was like, "You got that hook from me. You better pay me." And Boosie even wrote a diss song to people who have not paid him and properly compensated him for sampling his work. But that's funny. That's real funny. What'd you say, like you say, as the kids say these days, he's standing on business. Man, it's funny, man. But I hope those brothers get everything resolved. Boosie deserves his cut of the money. Rod Wave, please don't hurt yourself. Don't drink and drive. Don't do nothing. It ain't that serious, man. Well, no, it is serious, but Rod Wave is acting really emotional. Acting really emotional right now. All right, let me move on. So Snoop Dogg didn't fool me. Snoop Dogg didn't fool me. Did he fool you? He didn't fool me. Now, in case you were hiding under a rock, Snoop Dogg said that he made an announcement that he was going to stop smoking. This was a few days ago. Was it last week or a few days ago? I think it was sometime last week or over the weekend, something like that. But Snoop had said that he was going to stop smoking. I called Cap on that as soon as I heard it. I was like, what's going on with Uncle Snoop? What's going on with Uncle? What has he got brewing up? Because he's done this before. And I think he really tried to do it. This was like back in like the early 2000s, something like that, but it didn't go through. But Snoop said that he was gonna stop smoking, and then you had Meek Mill, ignorant ass, gonna follow up talking about, I've been working on trying to stop smoking too. I want to do shows in Dubai, something. I'm just paraphrasing what he said. But Snoop is actually releasing a smokeless grill. Isn't that what it is? Let me see. Hold on. It's a smokeless what is it? Smokeless fire pit. That's what it is. It's a smokeless fire pit. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. He did a commercial for it, a little commercial for it, and it was real funny. Let me go to my Instagram, see if I can play it real quick. But he didn't fool me. He had some people really. I saw Dr. Boyce Watkins say something about it. He was like, Snoop probably wants to look out for his health and all this other stuff. I said, man, Snoop, it's Snoop Dogg, bro. Like, you think Snoop is gonna stop smoking? He made a whole career off of that. And at his age, unless it was something that was very, very serious, I was highly doubting that he was gonna stop smoking. But yeah, did y'all hear about that? Did any of you believe that? What'd you say? He did for a second. He did so, but then realized after they made, yeah. Oh, see, nah. I wasn't fooled whatsoever. So let me see. This is the one. Hold on. Let me share my screen with y'all so we can look at it. Fair use, by the way. This was funny. All right, let me turn the sound up.
Smoke. I know what you're thinking. Snoop, smoke is kind of your whole thing. But I'm done with it. Done with the coughing and my clothes smelling all sticky icky. I'm going smokeless. Solo Stove Fix Fire. They took out the smoke. Clever.
Look at him smiling after this too. Look at how he's laughing. So some people were calling it genius marketing and all that. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it was genius marketing. I think it was clever marketing. It's not genius. Like, hey, I'm a smoker and I'm gonna sell a fire pit that's smokeless. So what I should do is just announce that I'm gonna stop smoking. That it don't take a genius to come up with that. Like, I don't think it's genius. I just think that it was clever. It made sense. It was clever, and hopefully it sells well. It was a very clever move. What'd you say? He said when he said respect my privacy, I knew something was fishy. Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. Come on, it's Snoop Dogg. It's Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg back in the day. So I knew that was Cap. He didn't fool me. He didn't fool me at all. But it's a lot of gullible people out here. And like I said, he announced it back. It feels like it was like in the early 2000s when he said he was going to stop smoking or something like that. And he also said he was going to stop saying nigga and say nephew. That didn't work out well. He says nephew, but you got to take everything with people say with a grain of salt. You said it wasn't genius. Yeah, bro. It wasn't genius. It wasn't genius at all. It was clever, but like I said, but it wasn't genius. But shout out to Snoop, and I hope that fire pit, that smokeless fire pit, sells well. Just in time for the holidays, man. All right, so let me talk about this because Laker for Life. I think it was you who asked me about this project, and the Chris Brown project and some other stuff too. But I did get a chance to listen to Welcome to Collie Grove. Welcome to Collie Grove. Now, overall, it's a solid project. I think it was solid. Did anybody else get a chance to listen to it? The production and the setup, the sequences, off the chain. They had 50 Cent narrating on there, and he gave that nice little New York street vibe, that power vibe. You know what I'm saying? It felt like you were watching a TV show. So I love the cinematics. I love the production on it. The production was solid. Honestly, it was only like maybe like 3 songs that I didn't like from it. With all that being said, I like the project, but there was one thing that I didn't like about the project. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne. If you see right here, I say 2 Chainz carried Lil Wayne on Welcome to Collie Grove. 2 Chainz carried Lil Wayne throughout that whole project, y'all. The whole project. Literally. Lil Wayne just don't have it no more, man. And I feel like he could. It's just that his content, he raps like a 23-year-old. Every rhyme literally is about, well, every verse literally is about either him getting pussy or shooting somebody. You know, it's random. It's no structure. It's like the only songs that it feels like he has some type of structure on, to be honest, is the songs about females. And still he's gonna be talking about pussy and all the other shit, right? But you had songs like the last song with Marsha Ambrosius. I forgot the name of it. I think it's called Moonlight. And 2 Chainz was spitting about, you know, how he was growing up. He had to be the man of the house and all this other stuff. Wayne get on there talking about how he shines bright like a moonlight and talks about some random stuff that I can't even remember. But Lil Wayne has lost it. Honestly, this could have been a 2 Chainz project, and I would have been satisfied because 2 Chainz has been putting out some decent projects the last few years. Ever since Pretty Girls Like Trap Music on up, 2 Chainz has been putting out dope projects, dope production, dope lyricism. I like 2 Chainz. I like the music that he makes. He's well seasoned in his career. I think he's in his 40s, but for Wayne to be in his 40s as well, rapping the way he does now, he's still clever. His rhymes are still witty. He's still up there with clever rhymes and witty rhymes. But when you're talking about content, trash. It's so disappointing. It was so disappointing. But what you say, you said you like Transparency and Can't Believe You. Man, I like those songs. Usher did real good on that. Like I said, the whole album rollout was dope. But just imagine if this Lil Wayne was like Carter 1 or Carter 2 Lil Wayne, at least rapping on topic. Like there's a song that they got with Rick Ross. Yeah, the Can't Believe You track. What the hell was Lil Goat 816? What the hell was Lil Wayne rapping about on that song? When it got to his verse, it just, he was stacking his rhymes. Like his rhyme pattern was just off. It was like his delivery was off. I was like, what the hell, bro? Now keep in mind, Rick Ross has the same type of flow. Used to ride on bikes, now we riding Benz. So he got the average sound, and like Rick Ross hadn't changed up his flow in years. But I'd rather listen to the redundant Rick Ross flow than the just crazy sounding Lil Wayne verse. And what you say he still rap about the stuff we heard in high school. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. Like he's still rapping like he's 23, 24. Like I said, he's clever, but he don't rap about shit. And that's my issue with it. That's really my issue with it, man. Like what you say, hasn't that been his style most of his career? I mean, it has, right? If you go back and look at and listen to the Carter and the Carter 1. I mean, the Carter 1 and Carter 2. Yeah, he had this mixtape type of flow, but to me, it was still kind of on point, like with the content of the song, right? But after Carter 3, really Carter 3 is where it started. I don't know what took over, but it's just bad. And he put out that mixtape. What was that mixtape he just put out? What was that mixtape Wayne just put out? I forgot what it's called. I think it's like an appetizer for the Carter 6 or something like that. But it terrible. I cannot sit and listen to a whole Lil Wayne album. 2 Chainz could have done this himself, and I promise you, it would have been phenomenal. It would have been dope. Lil Wayne had some parts where he shined on, like the song that Manny Fresh did, and 21 Savage was on there. I like that, but that's because he went back to the Hot Boy flow. You know, that was pretty dope. But overall, I think it's still a decent listen. It's something to ride to. If you can get past Lil Wayne not rapping about shit, then it's a good project. But yeah, Lil Wayne ruined it for me. He ruined. Well, I ain't gonna say he ruined it, but I was hoping he was gonna 2 Chainz was gonna help him spit better. But you said, what did I expect? No. You right. No, you right. You right. You said, what does he have to prove? That he still can rap good. That's what he got to prove. All his counterparts do it. You're supposed to see the thing is you're supposed to get better with age. You're supposed to get better. You're not supposed to stay the same or decline. Lil Wayne feels like he has declined. I'd rather go back and listen to Carter 1 Wayne. At this point, I'm damn near want to go back and listen to The Block Is Hot Wayne. This shit, like him rapping on this shit was terrible, bro. Terrible. The fix before the Carter 6. Thank you, Laker for Life. That's exactly what it is. And what you said, I can't listen to a Lil Wayne album all the way anymore either. Yeah, I tried to. I think the last Lil Wayne album I tried to listen to all the way was The Funeral, and I said, let me turn this shit off. That was the last album. Now, the fix before the Carter 6, just out of curiosity, I went through just 2 songs just to make sure I was right, and I was terrible. But like I said, welcome to Collie Grove. That's one of the dopest projects I've heard this year altogether. So shout out to them for putting that out. But Lil Wayne was horrible. All right, y'all know at this time I got to do my shameless plug. You should already know this. So let me share my screen with you real quick. Hold on, can I? Is that gonna play? Yeah, here we go. All right. So commercial break for Red's View. What's up, everybody? This is your guy, Jay Red. And in case you've been hiding under a rock, I dropped my latest EP, the most solid project this year, Rewind. Available now on all streaming platforms. You see, I got the 90s jacket, had to take them back to the windbreaker. You know what I'm saying? A Rewind is a 5-track EP that samples some of the dopest songs from the 90s. Now, some of the songs on the EP include this one, Best of the Best, Look Over the Rest, Tell Me Who Fucking With Me, Nobody. Tell me who do it like me, Nobody. Who working hard as me, also this one, Survival of the Fittest, Every Day in My Population. Commercial break. In the bucket that they created the trap. They lock you in, very few get out. The trap is easy to get in if you out. Oh yeah. This one right here too. Yeah, I know I got some problems, never run because I solve them, never flinch up when I face them. My fears stand 10 toes. Weather can get stormy, but eventually through sunny, muddy waters, never making me slip. Stand 10 toes. Yeah. And that's just 3 out of the 5 songs. The rest of the EP is fire. So if you like what you heard so far and you want to hear more, man, go ahead right now. What are you waiting on? Go on all your streaming platforms, whether it's Tidal, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you want to get it at. Make sure you go to the link in my bio right now and get J Red Rewind. You will not be disappointed, and we want to get those streams up. You feel what I'm saying? I hear people all the time saying it ain't no real hip hop or whatever out there, but let me tell you something. If you want solid production, you want great lyricism, this is the project for you. All right. That was our commercial break, promoting my latest project, my new EP, which is called Rewind. Like I said in the video, it is available on all streaming platforms, so make sure that you copy it. For those who heard it already, let me know your favorite song and get those streams up. Stream it for your boy. If you really fuck with it, man, make sure that you purchase it on iTunes or Amazon Music. But yeah, I had to do that shameless plug. You know I'm gonna do that. Some of you already heard it. Shout out to TRM Williams, my partner right there. Shout out to the Chord Room Podcast as well. Make sure that you subscribe to the Chord Room Podcast. Those brothers do like 2 shows. I think y'all would do like 2 shows a month, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to all the fellow podcasters out there. But I had to put that out, man. I'm telling y'all, solid project. And if you rock with it, let me know. I put some videos. There's 3 videos out already. I'm putting another one out next week. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So let's talk about this, man. Chris Brown has his lowest sales of his career. Now, what are you talking about, J Red? Man. So this was another one. I think that you wanted me to go over, right? Laker for life. This was I heard some of it, didn't hear all of it, but I wanted to cover this real quick. Chris Brown's 11-11 scores top 10 chart debut with lowest sales of his career. Now it says Breezy's new album 11-11 has debuted at number 9 on this week's Billboard 200 after earning just over 45,000 equivalent album units. So that's sad to hear, of course, because Breezy is a superstar. But the main reason I feel like it underperformed. Shout out, you said The Trap. Appreciate you, bro. But I think that the main reason that Chris Brown had low sales this go around because nobody knew about the album. A lot of people, I ain't gonna say nobody, but a lot of people didn't know about the album. A lot of people didn't even know 11-11 came out. Seriously, they didn't. Like, I remember when Breezy, that album Breezy came out last year. He put out like 2 singles for it. He put out the song with Wizkid, and he put out one of my favorite songs by Chris Brown, actually, Warm Embrace. He sampled the Guy record, Let's Chill. He had promo runs. He was going out doing Big Boy's Neighborhood. He was doing different podcasts. I think he did $1 million worth of game. He was out there interviewing, doing a whole bunch of stuff. But this go round, he literally made an announcement on social media, and it picked up, in the press saying that he got an album coming out. I think he made the announcement maybe like September or something like that. Said that it was dropping on November the 11th to mark his 11th album. And he said it was only going to have 11 songs. So we heard about that, but he didn't put out no singles. So then fast forward, November 11th came out. I, didn't see nobody talk about it. I only saw one girl I know talk about it, and that's because she's a major Chris Brown fan. But last year when he dropped Breezy, everybody was talking about Breezy. Now keep in mind, it didn't have a high first week sales either because Chris Brown has been on the decline with the first week sales. However, when you're talking about just presence and the culture, everybody was talking about Breezy, whether they liked it or they didn't like that album. But this one, nobody knew about it. Nobody knew that it really came out in large bulk. And but I have been seeing people share that they love the album. People have been giving great reviews about the album. I've been seeing that this is some of his best work his whole career. Well, in recent memory, its consistency and all that other stuff. But I heard some of it. It sounded pretty cool. On the road tomorrow, I said I was going to listen to the whole thing. But what ruined it for me was a few days before the project came out, he said that he's adding another 11 songs on the album, an AM side and a PM side. No, Chris. And we talked about this, I think, on the show when my boy CJ was on here with me. I don't want to hear no 20-something songs from Chris Brown. When he got me excited when he said it was just going to be 11 songs, because I thought that, okay, he's going to lock in like a laser, be laser focused into giving us a quality album. Now, I'm not saying this isn't quality, but that took me out of the element of wanting to hear the album because I'm like, it's too many songs again. The man puts out double and triple albums literally every project. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of deterred me away. But like I said, I've been seeing a lot of people give good reviews about it. So shout out to him. I just wish he would have promoted it more. But the reason I feel like he didn't have the sales is because he didn't promote it. But I was talking to my homeboy, and he was just saying, "Oh man, I think that Chris Brown's just trying to appease to his fans." Because last year, y'all remember, he was complaining that the industry didn't support him, or people weren't supporting him with his project last year because it did low first week sales. He was like, "Damn!" So he could have been like, "Man, you know what? I'm just gonna announce it. My name is big already. I'll at least be in the top 10. Forget going platinum. Forget going gold. I'm just gonna put this out. I'm gonna make my money because I own my masters. Because he does own his masters, publishing and all that. I believe so, right?" And he's just like, forget it. I'm finna just do it. I'm gonna get my money going on tour. I'm papered up, So that's probably what he's thinking. That's why he didn't promote it like that. But literally, nobody on my timeline was really talking about it. A couple of people have been talking about it now, but like I said, I heard it's a great body of work. What you say, Laker for Life, I actually like that. I'm sensational. 10 Toes is dope. I was just too long. Exactly, man. it's a lot of songs on there. And like I said I was gonna be fair to try to listen to it on my way to Mobile tomorrow, but that's a lot. That's a lot. You said, and why did he completely change the marketing? He didn't do any of what he said. It didn't come out on 11. It came out on 11:10. Yep, that's true. And it was more than 11 songs. Exactly. All of that goes into play. All of that goes into play. And you said it's a decent album once again, but it's not as good as Breezy. I actually think he didn't promote it. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't promote it. Everything that I was just saying, man, he didn't promote it like that. So I wasn't surprised that it got a low first week sales, to be honest. I was just like, he didn't promote it like that. A lot of people didn't know. But the sad thing is, it's gonna, that's another, it's gonna put a stain on his legacy, of course, because the lowest, it's making it look like he fell off. When I'm quite sure if he would have promoted it more, it would have been a different story. But but yeah, I didn't get a chance, like I said, Laker for Life, to listen to the whole thing. The songs, excuse me, that I did hear from it was cool. It was cool, but not the whole thing. I didn't listen to it yet. But y'all check out other people who's going to see this in the future. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the project. Also, if you're watching right now, make sure you subscribe to youtube.com/ResView and hit that like button. Shout out to everybody who's hitting that like button. Now let's move on. Now, this is hot in the press today. Joey Badass says first week sales don't matter. Speaking about first week sales. Now let's look at what Joey Badass had to say about this. This was pretty interesting. I was talking about this with my homeboy earlier today. So he argues that first week sales don't matter. Shut up and enjoy the music. So he said, so let me read this. It's been a minute. I'm back. I feel really compelled to say, fuck first week sales. They simply don't matter anymore for the simple fact that no one is buying albums. I mean, when's the last time and anyone bought an album? He says we can all stream anything we want, but in order for it to count as an album sale, you need to listen to every song like 1,000 times these days. They trying to make it seem like everybody flopping when in reality they changed the rules. So someone please tell me why the fuck is everybody still worrying about that? They try to take the power from the musician because they never learn how to measure influence properly. At this point, just shut the fuck up and enjoy music. All right. I hear you, Joey Badass. Now, I agree with that, but then I also don't agree with it. I feel, this is J Red's opinion, if you are on a major label, first week sales do matter. First week sales do matter, Joey Badass, if you're on a major label. Now, when first week sales don't matter, in my opinion, is when you're independent. When you don't have a huge backing, but you got a huge following. Hell, even when you're on like a label like Empire, where you got just distribution and stuff like that, that counts to me too. Those first week sales don't matter. But if you're on a major label, meaning that you have resources and they're promoting you, they're marketing you, especially with streaming these days, because it's a if and an and thing. Like with streaming, I don't like streaming as an artist. I love streaming as a fan, but not as an artist. One thing about streaming, they calculate, you don't really know how they calculate it. To this day, like they'll tell you how they do it, but you still don't fully, thoroughly understand how they do it. So projects be going gold and platinum and diamond, and you don't even be hearing them like that. You be like, what the hell? I didn't even know this song was out. How did it go platinum? How did it go diamond? So in my opinion, streaming has made it more easier for you to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And I think that first week sales will always matter because that's the indicator of how hot you are, how many people are invested into you. Now, of course, they can manipulate the numbers. Do I feel like the first week sales, like I said, for independent artists is the same as a major artist? No, because I feel like if you are this big established artist and you're on a major label, why wouldn't you have first week sale, a high first week sales? Why would you have low numbers? You know what I'm saying? Unless your label just didn't promote it, but that's the job of the label to actually promote it. So first week sales do matter to a certain degree, to a certain extent. Now, of course, I feel him what he's saying. You need like 1,000+ streams to count as a song these days. They got all kind of stuff. They got all kind of stuff to come up on a scale of how they do it, like the whole equivalent album units and how you bundle packages together. So it's quite confusing, but you got to have some type of scale to know who is number one. You got to have that. So I don't say that first week sales don't matter. Now, Joey Badass traditionally has not been a high selling artist. So, now this is his opinion. This is his opinion. So, but I saw people in the comments saying that he's never been a big first week sales artist anyway, so he could be entitled to feel the way he feels because of that. You said facts. I agree. It's all about singles. I don't think anyone really lists the albums anymore unless you're top 5-10 artists. You said you buy albums. I don't stream. Will stream. Yeah. See, thing is, I still buy albums if I like it. Like Nas's albums, I buy them on vinyl. Now I don't purchase CDs anymore. I think the last CD I purchased was maybe New Waves by Bone Thugs by Crazy and Busy. And I remember when I bought that, it felt like a waste because I was already streaming it. But I think that's like the last CD I bought. But vinyl, I be buying vinyl like crazy. So, and I buy vinyl just for nostalgia and just to feel something because I feel connected more to the artist, but I do think that first week sales matter only for major label artists because you have resources. They have budgets for you. You have a marketing budget. So why would you not have a high first week sales? Now, thing is, like I said, the gold and platinum thing, I don't agree with that. Like if somebody was, because to me, platinum isn't platinum like it used to be. Gold isn't gold like it used to be. Now, if an independent artist goes gold or platinum, I think that's a big deal. I think that's a big deal because despite your limited resources like the major label people have, you were able to go past the adversity and achieve a big accomplishment. Like right now, if I had a single from my EP that went platinum, that would be a big feat for J Red. But I would celebrate. I would turn up. You know what I'm saying? But if I was on Interscope and I only did 20,000 the first week, I have to question myself as an artist and question my label. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, y'all didn't promote my shit. Like, what's going on? So, what y'all feel about it? You said I think streaming has made it difficult for artists to get paid for what. Yeah, now that's the thing. Now I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Streaming has messed up. Streaming. My bad. Hold on, y'all. Turn on this fan. Streaming has made it difficult for artists like myself to get paid. Like as a hip hop recording artist, I hate streaming. I hate streaming because it takes so many streams in order to make money. You know what I'm saying? But back then, even when we didn't have streaming, we had iTunes. People, if they were going to get it digitally, either they would bootleg it or they would purchase it. They had to purchase it, or you could still sell your CDs. So I'd much rather it go back to physical over streaming. Now, as a hip hop fan, I like streaming more so. I love streaming to be able to pick it up and listen to it right then and there. But I can tell you don't emotionally get connected to the music like you used to, because if you notice, when a lot of these albums come out the first week, you'll listen to it for that day or maybe the weekend, but it's so much oversaturation going on where you're looking for the next project the next week. You like, okay, I didn't skim through and heard some of these songs, and and then they count that as streams. See how they count stuff as streams. You remember back in the day in FYE, Camelot Music, or your local record store, you could go in there and listen to a snippet of the CD. Or I think even still to this day, you go to iTunes, and if you go to Amazon, you can listen to snippets of the song. They be trying to count that as like how streams are nowadays. Like if Migos drop an album and then I go through and skim through the album and I didn't purchase it, but I got a subscription, they'd be like, okay, well, that counts as a stream. I'm like, but I really just browsed through it. Does it count as a stream for real? So, but to go to Joey Badass's point, I do think first week sales do matter. They do determine. You got to have something to measure it. If I got promo and say that I'm dropping something on this day, whether it's a product, some clothing, some perfume, some cologne, anything, food, then I'm expecting, and I do a lot of promotion, I'm going to look at that first week on how I do. I'm looking at that first day from how I do. So no, first week sales do matter. First week sales do matter. You said nice album, but went in different directions. New Ways, that is. Oh, okay, yeah. New Ways they went into a different direction and stuff. But yeah, I liked it. It was great production. I love New Waves. That was the last CD I bought though, by the way. But yeah, in my opinion, record sales do matter still. I mean, first week sales do matter. So Joey Badass, I feel what you were saying. You're halfway right, but you're also halfway wrong too. Let's move on because I've been waiting to talk about this one. Let me show y'all something, man. Let me show y'all something. So, there was a meme that was floating around, or a post rather, and it was very interesting. So this is what it said right here. This might shock some of y'all, but in the South, Gucci Mane was bigger than Jay-Z. Juvenile was bigger than Jay-Z. Tip was bigger than Jay-Z. Master P was bigger than Jay-Z. Hell, Trick Daddy may have been bigger than Jay-Z. It's no disrespect. We just came around later. So look at that. They named Gucci Mane, Juvie, Master P, Gucci, Jeezy, all of them. And they said that they were bigger than Master P. Let me. So after that, do you agree? Does anybody who's watching right now agree with that particular post? Do you think they were bigger? Because I'm gonna give my spiel, but I want to see what y'all gonna say first. Y'all let me know what y'all think. While y'all typing that up, let me go ahead because I know they're gonna be waiting for me to say what I gotta say. I think that I got that's cap for one. That's cap. The reason why it's cap is because I think that they worded that wrong. Jay-Z, if Jay-Z wasn't as big as those artists that they just named or bigger than their artists, let's take it to when Gucci Mane was hot. Let's say what let's go to Jeezy. Jeezy was on fire in 2005. Jeezy was on fire in 2005. At that time, if Jay-Z came to Atlanta, where Jeezy is from in Georgia, would Jay-Z sell out a venue faster than Jeezy? Would Jay-Z sell out a bigger arena faster than Jeezy? With Gucci, at Gucci's height, at his peak, what year was that? Like I'm talking about when he had photo shoot, take my shirt off, and all that shit, you know, when he had Wasted. Let's say that was what, 2010, 2011 at Gucci Mane's height. If Jay-Z came to Atlanta, who would have a bigger show? Gucci or Jay-Z? At Juvenile's height, back that ass up and everything. In New Orleans, who would have a bigger show? Jay-Z or Juvenile? Now that's a little different. Master P and Jay-Z, that was like 98, 99. That's a little different, so I can understand that. But those other artists, like, come on, man. Right now, all those artists, if they were bigger in the South, then that would mean that if Juvenile does a show in New Orleans, he wouldn't have to do it at the House of Blues. He would do it at the Smoothie King Center. If Jeezy was bigger than Jay-Z in the South, then right now, Jeezy could just do the State Farm Arena by himself. Jay-Z is at the point where he could probably damn near do the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You know, well, Beyonce can. Let me take that back. But who would sell out the State Farm Arena faster? Would it be Jeezy or Jay-Z? You know? So I don't think the proper term is bigger. I think the proper term is he resonated more. He was more relatable to people in the South. Bigger is a reach. It's cap. So you say in general, no. In the South, can't answer that. I'm not from the South. Where you from, Goat? Where you from? Where you from? And you said you agree. TRM. Yeah, I mean, relatability. Now, was everybody playing Jay-Z in the South? No. But when you're talking about bigger, that means that how are you going to be bigger than me? If I come to your city, I sell out more than you. That don't even make sense. If I come to your city, if I'm bigger, if I sell out, if you got to perform at the House of Blues and I can perform at the arena, how does that make you bigger than me? That don't even make sense. Now, keep in mind, they named Jeezy, Gucci, Master P, all of them. If Master P does a show in New Orleans right now, would he go to the Smoothie King Center or would he be at the House of Blues? I think he could do. Now, I'm talking about Master P by himself now, not the No Limit Tour, because the No Limit Tour can definitely do the Smoothie King Center, right? But Jay-Z goes on tour right now by himself, no openers, no nobody. Would he be doing arenas in these people's hometowns? Yes. If Jeezy went on tour, he would have to tour with somebody. If Gucci went on tour right now, like Gucci just did a 1017 show, it was at the Tabernacle. It wasn't at the State Farm Arena. Now, I'm not saying Gucci can't play there, but if he wants some high ticket sales, he would have to be with somebody else. Gucci and Jeezy, Gucci and Tip. When you see those artists do shows, it'd be like the Southern Takeover, Gucci, T.I., Jeezy, Rick Ross. It'd be them. Now, I'm not saying some of them can't do some arenas. It depends on the area, but how can you say that they were bigger than Jay-Z? I ain't gonna say that. I can say that they were more relatable. You know, the people in the hood, you know, the niggas in the hood was probably bumping Jeezy definitely way more. But Jay-Z influenced Jeezy. Jay-Z influenced Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z influenced a lot of those. He influenced Lil Wayne. We wouldn't have the Carter Lil Wayne if it wasn't for Jay-Z, to be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Oh, you say you're from Missouri. Shout out to Missouri. Okay, KC. All right, Kansas City in the house. So yeah, I think that's cap. I don't. And you had I was talking on Facebook yesterday. One of the gentlemen was going back and forth with me, but when you put it in that context, Jay-Z has always been, well, he started being a platinum selling artist a little, you know, like in the late 90s, but ever since then, Jay-Z has had a platinum album every time he's put something out. Jay-Z has all platinum albums solo wise. So the thing is, if they were bigger, and he said Trick Daddy, get the fuck out of here. Trick Daddy has never been bigger than Jay-Z, even in his area. No. Now, like I said, were they getting played more probably in rotation? Yeah, you know, in the hood and certain demographics. But are we talking about just black people, or are we talking about Hispanic and white people as well? Because it's more than black folks that live in these areas. It's more than black people that live in Atlanta. You know, because I'm sorry, they got Metro Atlanta. We got Metro Atlanta too. It's more than black folks that live in New Orleans, all over. So I count all of that in. So I'm not gonna say bigger. I can say he was more relatable for sure, because where I'm from in Mobile, hell yeah, Jeezy, Gucci, Juvenile, all of them are way more relatable. But if Jay-Z pulled up to Mobile, he would have to do a bigger venue, especially right now. Jay-Z coming to Mobile, shit, where could he perform? Honestly, that would, like, I don't even think it's like, because the Mobile Civic Center is, I mean, we would have to have like a big, it would have to probably be outside somewhere, like at a stadium or something like that. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Now let me know in the comments what you think, but I hope I was able to break it down in proper context, because I think that's what this thing was saying. Yes, he was more relatable. Jay-Z wasn't as relatable as everybody else, but I can't say bigger. Can't say bigger. All right, so let me move on. Let me ask this question. And I talked about this on some of my recent videos. Did Diddy do it? Did Diddy do it? I asked on my channel. I did a poll, and I asked, do people feel, after my video that I had posted, do people feel that did you feel that Cassie was doing a money grab? Do you feel like this was a money grab? Because, you know, they settled real fast in like less than 24 hours with this whole allegation case that's going on. So I said, I just posted a video giving my thoughts about the quick settlement that was reached between Diddy and Cassie. Do you believe Diddy was extorted by Cassie? Was this a money grab? So 39% said yes, it was a money grab. 61% said no. They feel like Diddy did that shit. And that's 51 votes. Now, at first, they were saying yes, this was a money grab. But after a while, especially 3 days have passed, man, that voting poll got up there. They don't think this is a money grab. And I asked the redheads, the Reds View community, what y'all think? They think, they think Diddy did it. So do y'all think Diddy did everything that she said? Do y'all think, oh, look at, you said yes, he did. Man, oh yeah, because we chopped it up about that. We chopped it up. Now, I gave my spill on it. Do I feel like Diddy did some of the stuff? Yeah, I don't think he did everything. I think he did a certain percentage of it, but part of me feels like it was a money grab to an extent. Now, I feel like she went through a lot of turmoil, and I believe a lot of what she said. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I believe every single thing. there's a lot of people saying, why did she settle so quick? You know, why was this done so fast? You know what I'm saying? So, but I gave my spill on it. You know, go look at the video. But I do feel like this could have been a money grab, but it could have not. But the Reds View community, y'all spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? You said yes, and in no terms of a money grab, but Diddy did it. Yeah, he said he did dog. You think he did everything? So you think he did the rape? You think he did the male prostitutes? You think now, of course, the blowing up Kid Cudi's car, I believe that. And then did y'all hear about the rumor that he dangled Wale over a balcony, him and his security? I heard he dangled Wale over a balcony. I heard he did that, you know, because he would go crazy over Cassie. You said I think it's both he did it, some of it, and it's a money grab. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like, you know what? She was probably on his payroll and got cut off. And she was like, look, because I think it was rumors about her writing a book. She's like, look, I'm gonna tell you this, like, you better pay up or I'm gonna have to take you to court and I'm gonna put some stuff out about you and all this other stuff. And you know, he just had to go ahead and pay up. He had to do it real fast. So yeah. But I hear what y'all say in the community. You said that he did it. So it is what it is. I'm not, but guess what? Everything would have to be proven in court anyway. And he went on ahead and settled that, which was smart of him because you don't want nothing like that to carry on. Like I said, there was already people in Atlanta. Agenda Studios are supposed to have an all Deleon party, and they canceled the party based off of allegations alone. So when you drag court out like that, like accusations and stuff like that, you end up finding out more than what you would want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Or what you will want to be out in the public. So Diddy was smart for doing that. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is this Megan Thee Stallion situation. It's the pot calling the kettle black. If you saw my video, I talked about this. Partisan Fontaine, her ex-boyfriend, aired her out in a song called The Person. I don't know if y'all got a chance to hear that. Dope song, by the way. But it's all the hotties that has gotten me. Like they've been doing too much, talking about some, why did he have to air out all her business and stuff like that? And I said, well, she aired out his business, talking about he cheated. But that was only one thing. We didn't have to know she had lipo and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, you can't tell somebody how to respond. If somebody comes up and slaps you right now, and then you knock them the hell out, somebody could be like, well, you didn't have to knock them out like that. It was like, how do you tell me how to respond? I just got slapped, you know? So it is what it is with that. And for you, it's women who feel entitled. I can't stand women who do that. Like they feel entitled, like, oh, I can do this and shit on somebody, and it wasn't that bad. How come she had to say it in the first place? How come she had to bring up the cheating in the first place? Because you poked the bear. So y'all females, you can't do that, ladies. You can't do that, because if I said a woman cheated on me and in a song, and then she puts out, say the roles were reversed, say that Partisan said that Megan was cheating, you would have females all up and down the timeline. Why he got to put her business out like that? Keep it in. And then, but if Megan responds and airs out that he was lousy, he didn't make a lot of money, he was a mama's boy, he had a little dick, he couldn't perform in bed like that, then the timeline would have been laughing, going in. I'm telling you, man, if the roles were reversed, y'all females wouldn't be saying that. So I can't stand it. Y'all ladies need to shut up. Partisan, I'm not mad at you for putting it out there. You know, she shouldn't have put your stuff out there. And you can't determine what's major and minor. She shouldn't have said shit in the first place. Shouldn't have said it. It is what it is. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. This has been a great discussion today, man. I really enjoyed myself. Again, everybody, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/RedsView. Also follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. I'll be hitting the road tomorrow to Mobile to turn up with my people. It is LHS Alumni Weekend. Can't wait for the pep rally this Friday. It is going down. Make sure that you cop the EP. It is Rewind, J-Red Rewind. It's available on all streaming platforms. And let me know what your favorite songs are. Get those streams up, man. And yeah, man. And birthday's next week, so I won't do a show next week. So I'll be out the country. But it's been a great November so far. Hopefully, everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with your relatives, spend time with your friends, your family, man. And shout out to everybody who I'm thankful. Let me tell you what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for everybody who tunes in every week, every Tuesday with me. Go 816, TRM Williams, Laker for Life, Trio 301. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody that participates actively on ResView. Because it takes a lot of time to do this, man. Come up with these concepts and come up with topics and stuff like that. But I really enjoy y'all for sticking with me through a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? An hour and a half sometime. But shout out to DJ PM, CJ, everybody who comes on this podcast. That's what I'm thankful for. That's what I'm thankful for. And my birthday is next week. So I'm going to be thankful for that. Man, shout out to y'all, man. But anyway, this has been this week's edition of ResView. I will see y'all in a couple of weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. ResView signing out.